our guest speaker. Captain Cruz entered the Army in 1997 and received her commission from Officer Candidate School in 2007. She is currently a student at the Command and General Staff College, and we appreciate her taking the time to come and speak to us today. Please welcome our guest, Captain Carolina Cruz.
Buenas tardes, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, family and friends. Mr. Stevens, thank you for that warm introduction. The Hispanic Heritage Observance started in 1968 under President Lyndon Johnson as Hispanic Heritage Week. It was not until 1988 that President Ronald Reagan expanded it to cover a 30-day period starting on September 15 and ending on October 15. The Hispanic population of the United States as of July 1st, 2015 was almost 60 million. Hispanics constituted 17.6% of the total population, making them the largest ethnic or racial minority in the nation. Confucius said, "Study the past if you will define the future." It is our responsibility to recognize history, and that is why we hold events such as this one and celebrate the different heritages that make up our beautiful country. I would like to share my story with you. I was not born in the United States. I was born in Cartago, Valle del Cauca, Colombia, in 1979. For those of you doing the math in your head, you're correct. I am 37 years old. While still living in Colombia, my father used to work at a gas station and pump gas at the Estación de Servicio Otes. And he also worked as a security guard at La Cooperativa de Cafetaleros. Despite the tough economic situation, my dad worked very hard to ensure my mom, younger sister, and I were well taken care of. However, the cost of living kept rising, and it was becoming harder for him to financially support our family. Therefore, on October 17, 1986, my dad immigrated to the United States to pursue the American dream. Within 2 days, he secured employment with Enor Corporation in Englewood, New Jersey. My sister was 6, and I was 7 when my dad left. We used to write my dad letters all the time, as back then it was cheaper than communicating via phone. From an early age, I was acquainted with the sacrifices that come from family separation. When my classmates used to ask me where my dad was, I remember answering proudly, "Mi papá vive en los Estados Unidos. My dad lives in the USA." My dad used to mail us clothes, school supplies, Barbies, among other things, and we were considered rich because of it. One year, he sent my sister and I matching book bags that had a big clock on there, and we were the school's center of attention, and we knew the time all the time. My mom, sister, and I immigrated to New Jersey on Friday, November 13th, 1992. It was a hard transition, as now I was a preteen and had to move and leave many of my loved ones behind. Back in Colombia, I used to be a really good student. I figured I would have no problem learning the language and adapting to living in this new country. I was wrong. The minute I got out of the plane and we were getting our papers checked by immigration, I was quickly overwhelmed by this foreign language that sounded more like Chinese and not the English pronunciation I had learned in Colombia. I was crying when I told my dad that I wanted to move back. He just looked at me and carried on. The following week, we enrolled in school. I had to take regular subject classes and ESL, which is English as a second language. I will never forget when I attended my first history class. I sat in the empty chair the teacher pointed at. Then he said something. I did not understand anything. I figured I would just smile to gain his sympathy. However, he proceeded to say something else, and that is when everyone in the classroom started having sidebar conversations and jerking their heads while they looked at me. I was really upset, and I sat on my desk wishing I was either invisible or not there. When class finished, I approached the only Spanish-speaking student in the class, and I asked what the teacher had said. She explained that after I sat down, the teacher asked me if I spoke or wrote English. Since I did not understand him, he then told the class that it was a waste of his time to have a kid in his class who could not understand the language. It was then that I realized that I was going to prove him wrong. I went home that afternoon and made it my mission to memorize the chapter we were studying, even if I did not understand what it meant. That following Friday, we had a quiz, and I got an A+. Now, that same teacher told the same class, how is it possible that this non-English speaking child can get an A+, and some of you got D's? That was a very valuable lesson for me. My parents are very humble individuals who always set the right example for us. They actually will be celebrating their 38th wedding anniversary tomorrow. They worked very hard to ensure we had all we needed and more. Since they did not speak English, they really could not help me much with my schoolwork. However, I did not really need much help. My drive to study hard and be a good student came from watching all the sacrifices my parents made. They wanted us to be better than them. My mom did not even teach me how to cook because all she wanted was for me to focus on my education. She always used to tell me, tu única obligación es estudiar. Your only obligation is to study. In July 1997, I enlisted in the Army to serve the country that had given my family so much. I believe in the values of this nation because they're the same values my parents instilled in me as a small child. Devotion to family, respect, faith, honor, integrity, and education. I could have gotten a part-time job and go to school, but that is not what I wanted. I wanted the honor to hold the title of American soldier while still pursuing my education. The plan was for me to serve my 4-year enlistment and then go to school at night and use my military experience and degree to land a good job. My plan changed slightly. At the age of 18, I got married, and by 19, I was blessed with my beautiful baby girl, Giselle. My responsibilities increased, and I did not have the energy to do anything else besides working and taking care of my daughter. Now that it was not just me, I decided to re-enlist, as I enjoy being a soldier, and the Army provided me with an extended family. In 2001, I decided to go back to school to finish what I started, even if it was online. It was now my turn to set the right example for my beautiful daughter. I completed my associate's and bachelor's degree within an 8-year span. I also wanted to become a commissioned officer. I graduated from Officer Candidate School in 2007. Now here I am with a master's degree and attending the Command and General Staff Officer course. The theme for this year's observance is embracing, enriching, and enabling. 3 words that lead to powerful results. I thought about talking about some of the famous Hispanics that have the greatest impact in our military. However, I decided to take a different approach. I would like to talk to you about the 4 Hispanic leaders that have influenced my career the most and who dedicated their military service to leading and taking care of soldiers and their families. Master Sergeant retired Yanitza Pannell. Sergeant Pannell was my supervisor when I was a PB2 and worked in the debt management section in the 9th Finance Battalion in Fort Lewis. When Sergeant Pannell took over the debt management section, I was intimidated by her. She was extremely technically proficient, looked mean, and moved at a very fast pace. She counseled me quarterly and pushed me to enroll in military correspondence classes for my professional development. She also taught me that I needed to believe in myself and embrace the obstacles life put on my way. When I became a single parent, I was afraid that I would not be able to handle being a soldier and a mother at the same time. Yet, she empowered me to continue with my military career. When I found out that she was going away for a couple of months to the basic non-commissioned officer course back then, FEMA, I was terrified of the fact that I was going to be the one in charge. However, she ensured I received the training I needed to accomplish the mission, even in her absence. Colonel retired Hector Colon. Colonel Colon was my battalion commander in the 9th Finance Battalion. I was a PFC when I was exposed to his leadership. Colonel Colon was always present during physical fitness training, and he was a really fast runner. He was a fair leader who always set the right example and had his soldiers' best interests at heart. His impact in my career was such that I had him promoted to sergeant and staff sergeant. He enriched my career and his mentorship, and when I wanted to become a commissioned officer, he did not hesitate to write a recommendation letter. Sergeant First Class retired Alfonso Garcia. Sergeant Garcia was my detachment sergeant when I was a specialist. Sergeant Garcia was a charismatic leader. He transferred his energy and love for our Army to those around him. Sergeant Garcia always motivated soldiers to be the best and exploited our potential. He encouraged us to exceed the standard and strive to be the best detachment in the battalion. And we were. I recall the long sergeant times training where we practiced loading and unloading our equipment in the trailers multiple times to ensure each one of us, despite our rank, was familiar with the load plan. At the time, we did not appreciate these efforts, but it was during the battalion's exercise evaluation, ex-eval, that we understood the importance of mastering these tasks when our detachment had to jump locations one rainy morning at 0200. Lieutenant Colonel retired Daniel Guadalupe. Colonel Guadalupe was the SIAP branch manager when I was a second lieutenant and serving as the 4th SIAP Cruz strength manager in Fort Bragg. That was my first assignment as an AV professional. And even though I had 10 years of prior service experience, I was having a hard time with the transition of going from being a sergeant first class and subject matter expert in finance to now being a second lieutenant in human resources with no experience in the field. Colonel Guadalupe enriched my career by teaching me the importance of seeking self-improvement and taking advantage of the knowledgeable superiors, peers, and subordinates around me. Despite his busy job as a branch manager in HRC, Colonel Guadalupe took the time to mentor and coach me in how to use the different HR systems, in particular the Total Officer Personnel Management Information System, TAPIS. He always shared his knowledge with all the battalion S1s and provided us with tools to facilitate the accomplishment of our S1 duties to better support our organizations. Master Sergeant Pannell, Colonel Colon, Sergeant Garcia, and Colonel Guadalupe are prime examples of the impact embracing, enriching, and enabling having the future of our Army and America. I am the officer that I am today because of their leadership and devotion to our nation. I emulate these leaders and strive to provide my soldiers with the same type of mentorship. I really wish my parents were in attendance this morning, as this speech is dedicated to them. A small gift to compensate for all the sacrifices they have made to support me along the way. Nevertheless, the love of my life is in attendance this afternoon. My amazing, awesome daughter, Giselle. She has been my battle buddy for 17 out of my 19 years in the military. She has attended 4 different high schools, 9th grade in Korea, 10th grade in the Dominican Republic, 11th grade in Colorado, and now she's a senior attending Leavenworth High School. She's a fighter and the better half of our relationship. And I want to publicly tell her that she's my world and inspiration, and I love you. I am blessed to have a resilient child who has never complained about the moves, the separations, and they miss special occasions. Just like I value and appreciate the sacrifices my parents made, my daughter is doing the same for me. As stated in this year's presidential proclamation for National Hispanic Heritage Month 2016, last year, Hispanic Americans saw the largest gains of any racial or ethnic group in median income and experienced among the greatest reductions in poverty. This shows how the Hispanic community is contributing to our nation's economy. I am proud of my Colombian heritage and also my U.S. citizenship. Since a very young age, I was exposed to the true meaning of hard work, perseverance, and selfless service. I am privileged to be an American soldier and wear the uniform that honors our past, present, and future. Observances like today make it possible for people like me to show the positive side of the Hispanic culture. Sometimes it can be overshadowed by the negativity of the world. I am a representation of the Hispanic immigrants in this country who will always be thankful for the opportunity to live their American dream. My story exemplifies the challenges and victories some of the Hispanics have faced during their journey in America. The road has been long, and we all have faced many challenges. Yet we are all blessed with the opportunity to live in the land of the free and the home of the brave, the United States of America. In closing, I will leave you with one of my favorite quotes by Mahatma Gandhi. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Embrace, enrich, enable, Armstrong.